Ghostwire Tokyo came out Friday, and I was on the fence about playing it because it's the next game from Shinji Mikami, actually the latest game from Shinji Mikami, the maker of some of the classic Resident Evils, as well as The Evil Within 1 and 2. But the game looks completely different from anything the guy's done before. And I think a lot of people were on the fence about it, not knowing what it was going to be. Is this a first-person shooter? Is this an RPG? Is this a horror game? It's really hard to put your finger on what this game is, okay? All right. Well, I can answer that question for you guys now because I've played it for 6 hours, and I feel like I'm actually in the know. It's an adventure game. It's actually an adventure game. It's like kind of all of the above, but none of the above. It has elements from first-person shooters, RPGs, horror games, but overall, it's an open-world exploratory adventure game. You're going to have interesting side quest lines that are meaningful and fun. You're going to have a ton of exploration and a lot of looting. It's another looter shooter. Yes, it's a looter. You go around looting a ton of stuff in the open environment, including trying to rescue all these people who apparently have been raptured from Shibuya, Tokyo. You're trying to send them to the afterlife properly because their souls are floating around in the streets. It's pretty crazy. Absolutely, there's going to be a ton of combat in the game, right? It's different because I started off very slow. Like, the combat was kind of like, meh, shoot, shoot, shoot a little bit, shoot, shoot, shoot a little bit, no big deal. But now I've unlocked better abilities. Like, there's a water ability where it's a wave that goes out, and it's more like a shotgun. See? I now have a fire ability, and the fire ability is like a focused ability that goes straight at a distance, kind of like a rifle. So it's funny because even though there's no guns in the game, there's essentially guns in the game. It really does play kind of like an action-based first-person shooter. But then there's RPG elements. As you save these souls and you complete combat challenges, etc., you level up. You can get better abilities on your weapons that you use to fight the enemies. You can get better traversal, like you can float across the rooftops, which is pretty crazy. I didn't even know that about the game. You can climb these buildings, these skyscraper-style buildings, and actually hover around the town, collecting items and fighting enemies. It's pretty fun in that regard. There is a feeling of freedom in the game that is pretty entertaining, I would say. If anything, one of the major criticisms I would say about Ghostwire Tokyo is that it's not really scary. I've maybe been jump scared a couple of times. There was one boss yesterday that I actually crapped myself because it was a jump scare boss and it's really creepy looking at it up close and it gets right in your face. And outside of that, definitely I would say the game has kind of a lack of direction when it comes to the story. I'm 6 hours in. I don't have a single idea what's going on yet. The game has explained nothing, and there's so much content in the game. Like, there's all this side content that pops up. You want to do it. It's fun. It's meaningful. The side stories are completely entertaining. But then you're like, geez, I played for 6 hours. I just realized I don't know what's going on in this game. I have no idea. Like, where did the people go? You know, what's going on in Tokyo? I don't know yet. Hopefully we'll get answers. You would think that's the point of the game, but right now I have no idea. Now, the one thing that I'm kind of upset about in regards to the game, all right? Everyone asked me to play something outside of Elden Ring, right? There was a strong consensus in my viewership, stop just playing Elden Ring every stream, all right? Now, there was no agreement on what it should be that I play. Some people wanted to see me play WWE 2K22. Some people wanted me to play a hot new release like Elden Ring. Ghostwire Tokyo, excuse me. And then there was other people who made random suggestions out of nowhere that I was never going to do, okay? There was no majority ruling on any of this. It was a lot of opinions being thrown at me with no consensus. So I made the ruling, I think we should play Ghostwire Tokyo. It looks original, it looks unique and interesting, and now that I've played it for 6 hours, I can tell you, the game is original and unique and interesting. It doesn't feel like a game I've played. Are there elements from other games in it that I've played? Yes, but the game feels completely unique in what it is. That's a good thing in this day and age when we're playing so many games that feel like they were copy and pasted off of each other to the point where we can even say, open world game, tons of side content, most of it's not meaningful, grind, boring stuff. You could talk about how many games are like that today. There's a bunch of them out right now that just came out in the last month, right? This is different. This is something interesting, okay? And I'm having a great time with it, streaming it. But here's what I've noticed. Whenever I stream it, viewership dwindles, and people basically, half the time in the stream, are completely disengaged from the game. They start changing the subject, they start talking about topics that have nothing to do with the game, and essentially they derail it. Now, I've been lenient about it, but I'm kind of wondering what's going on. because it's a new release. It's actually different, entertaining, unique. It takes chances where other games don't. I'm loving it. So what's going on with the viewership and my audience? I'm curious. I would love feedback about this. If anyone has actual direct response to what I'm asking, I would love to hear your opinions. If you're someone who likes the game, why do you like it? If you're someone who's not enjoying it and not finding it engaging, why? Because I would like to know what's going on when I'm having a great time with this game. It's something you guys seem to have asked for, and all of a sudden it's just like crashing. You know what I'm saying? And that's upsetting. I spend money on this game. I'm invested in the game now. I'm 6 hours in and I like it. And I don't like the fact that if I play this game, because I'm going to be alternating it with Elden Ring, it's going to be, oh, I'm playing Elden Ring today. Here comes a lot of views, a lot of engagement, a lot of support. Oh, look, I'm playing Ghostwire Tokyo today. The views are way down. The engagement's down. The support is slower, and everything on YouTube comes to a screeching halt. It's like, why? People wanted the variety. I gave them the variety, so what is happening, you know? But maybe it's something I'm not understanding, and that's why I want to appeal to you guys for answers. I would love some answers and feedback. Some people are saying, well, we wanted WWE. All right, understood. You wanted WWE, right? Big deal. I'm not playing it now, and I explained to you why I wasn't playing it now, right? I already explained, and there was all overwhelming amount of explanation of what happened, and it makes more sense to wait for WWE regardless, because you know that half of the content I make in the game is created content, the sim matches I used to do, which I'm going to do again. And the longer I wait, the more actual created content is available on the online servers. You see? So if I wait longer, there's no reason to play it right away, because it's not a game that has a based narrative that you need to know right now. It's not a story-based game. Is there a story? Yeah, it's 3 hours long. Most people just play it as a cursory introduction to the game's controls, and then you never speak about it ever again. Okay? So, I want WWE. I get it. As I tell you guys, I can't please all of the people all of the time. If I had played WWE 2K22, I'm not kidding, we very well could have been in exactly the same situation we're in now. Well, why didn't you play the hot new release Ghostwire? Don't you know that WWE could have been played at any time? Your audience is, that WWE is a niche thing. Your whole audience doesn't like pro wrestling, so why did you pick that game over a hot new release? Okay? That's bullshit. Okay, here's some feedback. So, Danger Close says, it's not you, the game is boring, nothing exciting is happening, it's overall unsatisfying to watch, that's my opinion. Das Bojic says, I feel like it's just kind of a downside of a playthrough content. It's like, okay, I get the gist of the game. It doesn't grab me. Moving on. Open world games are bad in this regard. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Battle Duck 9000 says, for me, it's one of the playthroughs. I just can't put it on to play on the second monitor because of the audio. I don't understand a single word of Japanese. So you're saying, because the game is Japanese focused, and because you'd have to actively sit there and actually watch the playthrough. You can't just listen to it because it's Japanese language. So you have to watch to read the subtitles, and because of that, you can't just have it on as an enjoyable playthrough. That's interesting. Okay, I didn't even think of that. I really didn't. That may actually be part of it. I think you may have hit it on the head, that a lot of people who watch my stuff maybe aren't actively sitting there staring at the stream 24/7, reading every little ant-sized subtitle. And I complained. As soon as I booted the game up, I complained. I said, why are the subtitles so effing small and unreadable in this game when obviously the game's intended for you to listen to the Japanese spoken dialogue? It's done very well. The Japanese voice acting is really good. So why the hell are the subtitles unreadable? That's annoying. Das Boja says, his reasons are why I watch anime dubbed like uncultured swine. My Ruin says, I'd much rather have you switch to English. I have no clue what's going on in the story. Well, don't worry. I have no clue what's going on in the story either. Nothing's happened yet. That was kind of the point I was making this morning is we're 6 hours in and there's been little to no story developments yet. I know they're coming, but it's kind of like, damn, there's so much to do in the game that's fun. You get so sidetracked that I have barely advanced the story yet, so it's not just you. But I understand your point. Okay, that may be a factor. The thing is now, I wish I kind of would have known how big of a factor that would have been. Because if I had known that it would have been that big of a factor, alright, then likely what I would have done is I would have played it in English. I didn't know that. I thought, hey, let's leave on the original Japanese. It defaulted to that. And I said, let's play it. It should be good. We should hear the Japanese dialogue, and it's actually going to be higher quality than the English. I guess this is exactly why when I play games like Yakuza or Lost Judgment, I typically do use the English voice acting. So, all right. I will absolutely take that in as valid criticism and a valid suggestion of what's going on. That does make sense to me now. And the fact that it's another open world game with content that you kind of stumble upon. Okay, I get it. To me, like, the reason that I'm disappointed is that this game actually, I feel, takes that open world formula but does it so differently that it feels refreshing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just played Dying Light 2. The game didn't feel refreshing at all. The game just felt like Dying Light 1 and didn't even feel like it was a new game. It felt like it was just a DLC expansion. It didn't even need to be made, right? We just played Horizon Forbidden West, and even though the game had gorgeous visuals, an interesting plot, and really nice world design, and the cultures were unique, it definitely felt like you were playing Horizon Zero Dawn again, and it really didn't improve much upon that formula. Besides a few tweaks here and there, it definitely felt like the same kind of open world, boring grind fest. In fact, this game even made it more grindy because you couldn't even earn certain abilities, like the hacking of the robots. You had to go grind for robot parts to hack the robots. What are you talking about? It was really bad in that regard. So, I get those two pieces of input, and I thank you for them. The thing is, there's no way I can back out of Ghostwire now. I played it for 6 hours in Japanese. Changing the dialogue to English right now is not going to help. The audience is what it is at this point, and you're not going to attract any new viewers because 6 hours into a playthrough, I changed the dialogue. Anyone who couldn't understand the first 6 hours isn't going to watch the rest. You see what I'm saying? But this is feedback I absolutely will take. The next time that I play a game that has the option of Japanese or English, I guess I'll select English. I guess it just makes sense. That also would fix the subtitle issue, because the subtitle issue is very frustrating that the subtitles are so small. But the funny part about this is these people who over-exaggerate. Like, people right now in the stream chat are like, oh, no, 90% of your viewers want a WWE. That's completely false. That's 100% false. I was asking for a week for people's feedback, and it was very split down the middle between Ghostwire and WWE. It was not a 90-10, 80-20, 70-30, 60-40 situation. It was kind of like, we either want this or this, and no matter what you do, you're kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't, because we're split. All right? Okay, so let's see what happens. But what I would ask is, let me put it this way. All right? The reason I'm talking about it is because I'm trying to give more attention to this playthrough, okay? It's good. The game does some really unique things and has a unique atmosphere and vibe to it, unlike other style games like this. It's funny because people keep saying, so what's it like? Is it like Dishonored? Is it like BioShock? Is it like, I'm like, no, it's not like any of those. It's literally its own game. Yes, it borrows from other franchises, but it really feels unique with what it's done here. So I wish people would give it a chance. If you haven't given Ghostwire a chance yet, please do. Please tune in to the streams and give it a look. All right? If you don't like it, then fine. But I feel like there's a lot of people who've written the game off for various reasons. Maybe some of them being the reviews. Because remember, I almost skipped the game because of the mainstream reviewers and what they said about it.